I didn't really have a chance to look around before. That looks like a representation of some maize. And over here is a representation of some animals, birds, dogs, and some pottery. Specifically, this is black-white pottery, so named because it is black and white. They use some light gray clay for these, and of course time in the elements would cause them to have sort of a sandy yellowish tinge these days. But the pottery is new and looks a lot more pristine now. Given the time frame, I'd guess this is Mesa Verde black on white. It's unknown whether they had contents or not when people traded them, but this style was enjoyed enough to be traded quite some distances in those days. It would be traded in exchange for other goods, and in some cases, other pottery, which enjoyed more of the color spectrum. Although personally I always love the contrast of black and white, which probably explains why I love zebras despite being terrified of them, although I doubt I'll find any here, I'm on the wrong continent. Anyway, time to make my way to the last area, the Cliffside dwellings, finally crossing this bridge. There's a nice amount of prickly vegetation here. Oh, that's the little corn knob that Alex mentioned. He's right, it is quite stuck there. Speaking of stuck there, I'm stuck here if I can't find a ladder or some stairs, or maybe even a ramp. Although given what I've seen in this journey, I wouldn't put an elevator past them either. And near the prickly cactus is a prickly spear. I offer once again my sincere condolences to Sobek, but given where I am now, I shouldn't even be in a position to stab a crocodile. Okay, that rock is a bit too short for me to grip onto the edge and pull myself up. If this was any other day, I'd try it, but if something goes wrong, well, Alex mentioned that too. No way to call a doctor, and worse, I wouldn't even be able to call my lawyer. Okay, what should I poke with this? Well, I could maybe use a spearhead to act as a makeshift grapple hook and pull myself... No, that idea's stupid. Worse than the rock climb one, and if I fall, well... I think falling into a cactus is better than hard rock, but it's still not a particularly great alternative. How am I going to get up there? Well, maybe I'll have more room to try stuff if I destroy some of this cactus first. Wait, how is that floating in the air? And fixed. Well, time for some spear training. On guard. Who's hiding in this cactus? No one. So the thin, tall cactus refuses to talk. What about the short, bulky one? I'll try sapping you. I'll break your foundation. You'll tumble right over. What? I've kept some plants in my life. The only time I've ever seen something grow that fast was in a time-lapse video. Okay, anyone else want to give up some water? Do you still have more? I presume the basis of the cactus will have the water. If there's one lesson of physics that should still be in effect, it's gravity. Then again, maybe not. Perhaps this will grow into something vaguely ladder-shaped. I've heard of rope ladders, but this is even more natural than that. And I appear to have exhausted all the bottom parts of the cacti here for the water. There must be some more somewhere. Perhaps it got trapped in one of the branches. It might collect in the base of the branch instead of going down the main shaft. Okay, that's enough. I don't want this anymore. I got a little too aggressive back in Maya with a sharp object. I really should avoid anything that reminds me how fun poking things are. Okay, instead of climbing the rock wall directly, or using the spear grappling hook trick, I decided to climb a hastily grown cornstalk. Still choosing not to do things the simple way. At least it's a nice view up here. Oh, another sun dagger spiral, but without the dagger. It's etched into the sand, but beyond that, I'm not sure what it signifies. I don't know what that leaf petroglyph signifies either. This looks like a rattle of some kind. I can't seem to get it to make a sound, though. I'll keep it anyway. I'm still afraid of heights. I'll check some ground floor stuff first. I love the shape of these entryways. You can put your hands on the sides and pull yourself up if the elevation is a bit different. Oh, a ladder in the background and... Oh, we meet again. Snake? I don't know if you follow me from Egypt, but I should warn you, I've learned a lot since then. Unfortunately, none of it is applicable to this situation. Hey, right, you're a rattlesnake, and I have a rattle. Okay, maybe something I learned was applicable to this situation. Remember the lizard blocking the entrance to the first Mayan pyramid? It changed color and pitch. And I had to follow that. Sort of like those rhythm marching exercises my professor had us do in music theory class. Well, maybe if this rattle works. Okay, it does, I just wasn't shaking it enough earlier. Okay, I'm getting the feel for this. Large distances to the left make one noise, and large distances to the right or up make a different noise. There are two distinct noises. The rattlesnake does this ABAA thing, so I can do left, right, left, left, AB. Select start. Well, the snake was far more forgiving of my lack of rhythm than my professor was. Wait, what the I mean, the ladder is shorter, but, the first ladder suddenly doesn't look so bad anymore, thanks, bye. A little drum studio. Not sure specifically what kind of drums those are, perhaps buffalo hide ones. And here's a mallet so I can hit them. That again, that leaf. Saw a pictograph of it near the sand spiral, but this one looks less like a drawing and more like an engraving. Well, if I happen to find a leaf of the exact same shape and size, I'll swing by and let you know. Oh, some wood chimes. I have one of these in my home, too. Granted, the sound it produces is less deterministic. This one always plays the same exact pitches. And what's with the blonde wig over there? No, that looks more like a buffalo hide. Well, I got nothing else to do, I might as well play the drums. The smaller the drum is, the higher the pitch it is. So in order for highest to lowest, I have... 5 different drum beats. Wait, 5 different drum beats. 5 different pitches of 5 notes that those wooden wind chimes kept playing. Well, I've got some time. I have about 800 years before I'm late for that meeting, so why not? This is going to be much tougher than static light vibraphone in Maya. The pitches of the wind chimes come faster, and it's harder to make them out. Additionally, the instrument timbre is completely different. In Maya, both what I was trying to copy and the instrument itself had the same vibraphone quality sound effect. Whereas here, there are wind chimes, and then there are drums. The timbre of an instrument, the tone quality of it, is why an A played in a guitar sounds different than an A played in, say, a piano. And combine that with the inability to easily tell the pitches from the speed of the wind chimes, this is going to be a lot more difficult in the puzzle than it was in Maya. All right, my first draft guess. Some note, then it goes down, then it goes up. The middle part of that wind chime sounds like the highest note, so I'll use that as an anchor. The second note sounds like the lowest. So I can reasonably guess the second is lowest and the third is the highest. The first doesn't sound too close to the highest, so maybe it's the second or third lowest. And the fourth and fifth notes go down, but not to the levels that it started out at, so at least the fifth note is not going to be the lowest. No notes sound repeated. Oh, that's horrible. I think I hear where the problem is. Most of the intervals don't sound like seconds, they sound like thirds. The only note that sounds quite close to another is the fourth note. It sounds just right under the highest note. So maybe I should change how it begins and ends with a higher interval this time. Like this. I would guess the distance is the same between the fourth and the fifth notes. Hey, the chimes played automatically. There must have been a nice wind swell somewhere. I think I got it. Well, I can put this mallet down now. Oh, the hide fell down. Why was it covering the door? How did the music make it fall down? Perhaps it wasn't hung well, so the sound waves kicked it down. But if it was hanging on this side, why would it... Hey, a new room to explore. Nice. Some hot stones, a makeshift torch, and all this next to the carpet. Suddenly, this ember torch setup seems more elevated. Well, that wall is really dirty. There's some water in the bucket, but I refuse to use my own hands or this amazing outfit as a cloth. And some holes. This is probably where they put most of their important stuff, like pots, grains, food, coins. Since this place was protected by buffalo cloth and I saw no windows, which begs the question how without the oxygen the fire is still going, I very much doubt there should be anything unsafe in there. I should be able to stick my hand into and... Oh, not you again. Looks like they took my recommendation to keep it down, spread the word to other hives, and discovered the power of stealth. Okay, avoid the middle one. I can see the hive now in an outline. I'll try the one on the left instead. It looks empty anyway. Oh my god, it's such a big spider. Okay, avoid left and center. Just try the... Oh, come on. I feel weird now. I mean, I should stop now, but I already came this far, and I only have 2 more to go. Sunk cost fallacy, I know, but who gives a snake? Revenge for what I did in Maya. So I got stung by the snake, scorpion, bees, spider, and swordfish. Well, it's not all bad. You see, if medicine is good and mixing it is bad, then that implies that if poison is bad, then mixing it must be good. I feel great. I'm so stoked now, and so is this wooden wand, so now it's time to burn you jerks. Okay, you aren't burning up, but at least I can see you now. Well, that rag looked like the snake earlier. It even bit like a snake. What happened to the snake? Oh well, my adventures getting myself poisoned in 4 different ways have rewarded me with an old rag. I already came this far, I might as well clean the wall, which is what I originally wanted to do. Who knew it would be this difficult? Alright, forgot to wet it. I want that formula, whatever it is. None of my cleaners at home work this well. Hello, Antler Man. Well, specifically, this is probably referencing a shaman, possibly the shaman who lived in this room. There doesn't seem to be anything up here. This rounded area looks like a kiva, but I don't see an entrance from here. Well, some more snakes and ladders. I don't really need the ladder. I could lift myself up that far, thank you, but... Well, you're in the way, so I might as well take you. This feels creepy somehow. A weaving tapestry area. A loom. Looks like the work is unfinished. I am sure I could finish it. I've basically been invading other people's homes and doing unpaid contract work already. Looks like this is a vertical loom, and the warp threads that form the backing structure are already in place. Some of the tapestry has already been made, but the middle section is completely missing. The yarn is threaded through that needle, and then threaded through the loom in a particular way to hide the warp. Looks like the bar at the top will be my fork, to push the threads down so the complete picture is shown. I'm surprised that the yarn made the pattern by itself. It must have been pre-colored ahead of time. Normally yarn is a single color, and there are several threads behind the loom that are used wherever a particular color is needed. Actual tapestry work can take months or even years to properly produce, and I got that part done in about 10 seconds. I'm surprised it even turned out like this. Although in hindsight, maybe brown wasn't the best color, because this doesn't fit at all. Well, bugger me. That doesn't look right. None of these patterns even go together. Well, I broke it. Sorry, I ruined a work of art, and it's been unruined now. Okay, who snuck in and stole the tapestry when I wasn't looking? Well, I have a second chance, so I'll do this right this time. These 3 yarns are what I need. They are all shades of red, same color as what's already done for the parts of the tapestry in the bottom and the top. But which one goes at the bottom versus the top versus the middle? The smaller yarn ball has traces of yellow that the other ones do not have. The top of this appears to have yellow parts in those rhombuses, so I take it that this will be the last yarn I use. This larger one's red color near perfectly matches the red here. The middle one's red is a bit darker. I don't know which order these go in. I would guess that the majority of the black might be in the middle, and it would be more red on the bottom. So it's going to be a guess between these two. Let's see what happens. Nice, that matches. And so does that. I've never seen a tapestry glow like that before. I wonder what that symbol means. It certainly brings attention to itself. Come to think of it, what did I accomplish here anyway? I cleared someone's wall and finished a tapestry of maize, and both showed me large images of things. The shaman deer and now this stalk. I didn't see any of them though, back on that set of 4 rock slabs that I saw in the beginning, the one where each little glyph gave a different sound when it was selected. Then again, the Cliffside dwellings aren't on any Sundagger spiral, so perhaps this information will be useful to some other mechanism. Or perhaps I just wasted my time doing some contract work for people who aren't going to be back here. Now how do I get down? Okay, probably shouldn't do that. I should be careful, back up, and carefully bring myself down. Well, this covers what I can reach up here on the cliffs. Now I have to figure out what to do with those 4 different zones. I'm at a bit of a loss myself. The professor mentioned that sometimes he would go to one of the zones and it would be filled with life, and that sometimes he would go and it would be all dead. The calendar at the top of the spiral stone ramp in the center of this mesa. I left it at a blank spiral. The only thing that seemed to actually function here beyond the storyteller cave and the cliffside, neither of which were Sundagger marked, were the 4 slabs with the different sound effects and petroglyphs. The area marked with a sun's dagger spiral that had no Sundagger. This area is the winter solstice Sundagger. What if I change the calendar to that? Okay, which one was winter again? Currently a blank, I need winter. That's not winter. That's also not winter. Oh, it's going to be the last one, isn't it? First of all, back to the 4 stone slabs. can no longer change which ones are lit up. I can no longer interact with this thing. And this is marked by a daggerless spiral. So changing the calendar position did remove, for lack of a better word, power from this area. Which means said power has gone to the Winter of Hunting area, the bow. So what's changed with the bow? I'm so far not sure. Well, you weren't there before. It flew through the eye of that tower over there. But I still can't get it. My arrows still lack arrowheads. Are there some lying around now? Okay, it's really hard to see, but actually there are some right over here. I swear they weren't there when I first went this way. Okay, I have arrowheads. Now it's time to bullseye that tower.
Shoot straight as the wind blows.
But it was so close. It was just a little bit overpowered. So it broke at the top. Let's use less force. Pull the string less further back.
Shoot straight as the wind blows.
I just did the same thing as before, but it went in a different direction. Well, there are several variables here. There is the wind, whose direction I cannot tell, but it seems like it goes towards the pillar with a bit of bias towards the right. I got a set of 3 arrowheads, but each one was shaped differently, so it would fly differently. I cannot just easily repeat the same thing with small variations, because the wind change and the next arrowhead are always going to be different. The voice says to shoot straight as the wind blows. I take that to mean using the wind to bring the arrow the distance it needs, but if I do that, I may need to fire a little bit to the left to correct the wind bias when it blows. But better question, are there any more arrowheads laying around? These weren't here when I was searching just a few moments ago. I guess the hawk is bringing replacements every time I fail. Well, I guess that hawk is going to be getting paid overtime today. It's another set of 3 different shaped arrowheads, with wind that blows at different times with different levels of power and position to fire the bow. It's going to be a long day, isn't it?